Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to make vintage, romantic kind of sounding samples from scratch. Just some really nostalgic vibes, something you could probably hear in a 60s movie. And you already know, before we get started, make sure to go tap in with me on social media. Give me a follow at inquires. But let's lock in. This is probably one of my favorite samples I've made in a while, just because it's so smooth and lovey-dovey. You know, Valentine's Day, aka simp season coming up, so I gotta lock in on something like that for the bag. But yeah, this melody's actually like not too complicated. That's a rap cap. This melody's like, so the first thing that I lay down is just this simple Rhodes progression. I'm just basically moving up and down. But instead of playing this D minor, like boring, I'm just playing a D13, you know. Then go into a B major 7. And then I go to an A minor 7. And then a G minor 7. So then that just repeats like. I just made the chords transition with as little space as possible just to keep it really smooth, you know. So then next I added this contact electric guitar just to highlight the chords and bring out some more color. As you can see, I'm doing like an arpeggiated strum every other bar because in my Rhodes pattern, I left this section like empty. So the guitar is filling in this part. You know, you really gotta like make your melodies fit together like a puzzle. And then with the Rhodes behind it, it adds a really cool texture. So the guitar dry sounds a little boring. But then I added some juice. So I just added a really slow delay on it just to add some more ambience. And then I put some racks on it, you know. Racks on top of motherfucking bag. I get the bag. I need driving. The difference is pretty crazy. Like, when you're making melodies, you gotta think of effects as a way to add color instead of trying to fix stuff. Because if you're trying to use effects to make it sound like fit in really bad, it's probably the sound itself that's bad and you can't really fix that with any effects. So next, the best part of this melody are these strings, these like really sharp strings that play. So I just added these ensemble strings from Contact again. It's playing a really simple pattern, but I added some juice. These really high notes sound crazy just because like it's so sharp. Also what I did is I added these like super short notes just to make it kind of like slide down. That kind of gives it like a really natural like violin feeling, you know, it's like locked in with Vivaldi type shit. The strings are definitely the most important because it adds all the juice. Like listen. If you watch any like old drama film like from the 60s, 70s, you always hear these high string ensembles just playing like really like beautiful melodies. That's kind of the inspiration I got for this. Also, any Frank Sinatra song always has crazy string movement, like really lush but sharp sounding strings. So then I felt like this was cool. But like it didn't have anything that made it kind of bouncy, like not a lot of movement in it. So I added this Celeste part. This is playing a really simple melody, but it feels like a call and response with the strings and other instruments. It's all really simple sounds like bells, strings, maybe some Rhodes. That's just a nostalgic flavor. And then next I added this bass from Trillion. Just because I thought if I want to make the sample like realistic, it's going to have a bass line in it. So this is what it sounds like. I I didn't really go too crazy with this because I didn't want to make it mess with the 808 later when I send out the melody. So it's just like following the roots, you know. And then I added some shapeshifter on this to bring out the mids a little bit more, and then just some chorus to give it a little bit more depth. So then I wanted to add some percussion, so I just added this drum loop. You know, it's not too present, but it adds a cool texture. So now that's the A section of the melody, and I wanted to add a B section just to switch it up a little bit more. So I pretty much removed everything, you know, the strings and the celeste, and I added this like synth brass sound. It's actually from D50, like an 80s kind of synthesizer, and this is what it sounds like. This brass like really adds a feel good type of layer to it, you know, some like that just kind of switches up the melody enough so that it's interesting, you know, throughout. This pattern really sounds like a conversation because like this is the question, it's like going up, and then this is the response, and then this is like another question. Like it really does sound like a conversation where two people are trying to figure something out and they eventually kind of get to a common ground. So then that's pretty much the full sample. I just kind of arranged it to slowly take away stuff. So then I just rendered it into one audio. Alright, so then I took the original sample and just like pitched it up. And then I put halftime on it to slow it back down and like chop it up. And the final sample sounds like this. And that's pretty much the final sample. As you can see, a lot of the melody juice, like all the really detailed kind of stuff that I did, is pretty much gone. Like you can't really hear it. That's what it's about though. It's just like flipping your own samples, you know. I also like how there's like artifacts where it's like chopped up. It just sounds like an actual sample. Like over here you can hear the string coming in and then being stopped. And that's the brass, you know, chopped up. And string hit over here. I really love this effect, like these artifacts. That little brass note that happens like from the chop. And the thing is, you can't create that any other way besides sampling your own music. So it's pretty fun just to make samples and then like obliterate it and just turn it into something else. Now this is smooth enough to make a beat over this. I could definitely see 21 on this, like with some Savage Mode 2 vibes. And that's pretty much how to make vintage samples. I hope you guys found this video helpful. You know, if you did, make sure to give it a like, comment below what you thought of it, and also subscribe. Let's just go crazy this year. But that's pretty much it for today, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.